These soft, moist, and deliciously fluffy banana muffins are about to be your next favorite because they are so good and super easy to make. They'll be ready in less than 20 minutes. My name is Ehi and you're welcome to my kitchen. For this, we'll be needing some simple ingredients which you may already have at home, such as your all-purpose flour, some sugar, some eggs, vegetable oil or any other cooking oil or melted butter, some cinnamon powder which is optional but I highly recommend, salt to balance out the taste, some baking powder, baking soda, and some vanilla flavor or any other flavor of choice, and of course some ripe bananas. Now you can decide to make this a bit more healthy by substituting the flour for some oats flour. Just blend some oats at home and you're good, and you can also skip the sugar or replace that with some maple syrup. So the first thing we're going to do is mix our dry ingredients together. So into our flour, we'll be adding some baking soda, baking powder, salt, and cinnamon powder, and we're just going to mix that thoroughly to combine. Now a list of all ingredients and their measurements will be in the description box below, so you can check that out. Once we're done mixing up all of our dry ingredients, we're going to proceed to peel out our ripe bananas into a clean bowl and mash. Now I have a video up on my channel where I showed how I make banana bread at home. In that video, I shared in detail what you can use to mash your bananas and how it will come out. So if you want to know what that is or the different methods, then you want to check out that video. Now personally, when I make banana muffins, I do not like to over mash. I like this consistency with lots of banana chunks in there, but if you prefer a smoother consistency, you can mash for longer. Once we're done mashing our bananas, we're going to go ahead to add in our vegetable oil, eggs, vanilla flavor, and sugar, and we're going to mix this thoroughly to combine. Now you can decide to include some milk at this point. I do so sometimes, but I opted out of it for this particular recipe. Once everything is thoroughly combined, we're going to proceed to add in our dry ingredients in batches. Now we're adding in batches just to ensure that the mixing process is a lot easier. At this point, you don't want to over mix, you just want to fold in your dry ingredients, and you honestly want to do that in batches. Honestly, you can decide to skip the part where you mix all of your dry ingredients together, and at this point just put in your flour, baking soda, baking powder, and cinnamon powder. It also works out perfectly fine. Once we're done folding in our dry ingredients, you want to proceed to scoop the batter into your cupcake or muffin pan. Personally, I like to oil the pan just a little bit, but you can skip this part. Then you want to put in some cupcake papers or muffin papers just to ensure that it comes off easily after baking. I like to use an ice cream scoop to scoop out the batter, but this is just preference for me. I find that it comes off really easily, but you can use a measuring cup, eating spoon, or even a piping bag if you have that at home. Now if you follow through with my recipe, the butter should be just enough for about 12 cups of muffins. Now you can bake as is, or you can decide to top yours. I decided to top some of mine with some raisins. I topped the others with some coconut chips and some chocolate chips as well. This is honestly just preference for me, and it's just for ceremony. You can decide to skip this entirely. Once you're done, you want to tap that slightly over your countertop just to ensure that all the air bubbles are out, and then you want to proceed to bake in a preheated oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. See, I told you, it is super easy to make. Let me know if you're going to try this recipe sometime, and if you loved it, don't forget to like, share and click the subscribe button. Bye.